Good evening, everybody. It's not Vietnam. It's not a morning, but it is a great evening to do something that I've wanted to do, but I was not going to do. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. Wouldn't been prudent to do a draft show unless I have people that know about college football, that are studious, learned, erudite, urbane. Look those up. Those are the big words of the day from your dictionary. And I am lucky and blessed to be joined by, and I'm going to make sure I get see this guy. See, I want to make sure I point correctly. That is T.3 Thom Jones, and that is my man Jason Dean Hunter. Again, so I want to make sure that I point correctly. Gentlemen, take a bow and tell. For those that don't know who you are and what you do, please let a couple of the folks know so they can appreciate who you are, why you're here, all your positivity, and why I feel so good in having you guys come in.
All right, I'll go first. Those of you who don't know me, I am the Raider Demon King, out of gear. I've been a Raider fan since 1987. I'm a diehard Raider fan. I'm a diehard Notre Dame Fighting Irish fan. Captain asks me to bring the fire when it comes to college football. I bring a lot of it. I watch a lot of college football as well, so I can say that I kind of know my stuff. So we'll see how much I actually do know. And Captain's trying to get me to do this for a couple of years now, and I've just been so busy and stuff. And he messaged me today, and I said, "Yeah, let's get it today. We can take care of it tonight, and let's have a good night, fellas."
For sure.
Hey everybody, I'm Thom. To go by T3 Raider Facts, I do the Only Nation podcast. In addition to chipping in on some other different podcasts, I've been following the Raiders for a long time. In fact, the first Raiders game that I saw was the Heidi game back in 1968. Just saw the tail end of it because I was a young tyke back in the day, and we were waiting on Heidi to come on that night. I know Heidi, my co-host on the Only Nation podcast, will be happy to hear that. But I've been following the Raiders for a long time, and we're putting this thing together. I'm happy to be in. We've done a lot of research on this, and I was talking to Jack earlier, told him to just remember, what I've put together is kind of my draft board, certainly not Ziegler's. So we'll see how everything shakes out. Just looking forward to getting into it, and happy to be here tonight.
Well, Thom, I can only hope that Dave Ziegler has done as much work as you. I think he has.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I think he has. I honestly think that for once in God knows how long, and I can't remember the last time, and I always go back to my buddy that was with me in Nashville, who is the meme for Raider fans, with the look of, "Are you effing kidding me?"
My boy, Callie Mark.
That's right. When we drafted
Clelin Ferrell.
Clelin Ferrell. And again, Clelin Ferrell is not a bad football player. He's not. I think that unfortunately he didn't get a chance to exert the prowess that he had in college, but then again at Clemson, I think three of those guys went top first round, and then the other one went like the third round, because that defensive line at Clemson was just monstrous, and they were all drafted well. But and that's why I keep saying the sum of the parts of the machine is greater than the individual people. And we saw in that draft where Clee was drafted number 4, played decently for the Raiders. I'm pretty sure he went somewhere in the Aussie. I don't know where.
He went to the Niners.
There you go. And he will be a great cog for their machine. But in that draft in the 4th round, we also got Max Crosby, who was not as widely touted but is a perennial Pro Bowler, and on his way to bigger and better things. And by the way, great parents. I had a chance to again talk to his mom and dad this weekend over in Dallas. What a great weekend that was, and have a chance to present his mom Vera with a Elite Superfans coin and let her know all about the organization. And it's great that that Max is as fantastic as he is, and his parents are wonderful. So hopefully we'll have them on as well. But again, the draft has been a crapshoot for the Raiders. It's been anticlimactic, to say the least. And Thom, being a historian, knows that pretty much that the drafts, even when Al was the owner, Al did whoever, it didn't matter. Al had the first round. It was Al's pick, and that was it. And I got this from various sources that can back it. And then you would basically turn it over to the rest of the coaches and the scouts.
Kind of like John Gruden.
Sir?
Kind of like John Gruden.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Well, John just didn't do the first round. He did like the first 2 or 3, and then he turned it over to Mayock, who finished it out. Gentlemen, your thoughts on that as well, because you did bring it up. Go with that there, Jason. I'll have Thom talk a little bit more about it as well.
Well, we had 3 picks in the first round that year, and we were really, really excited. A lot of people wanted Josh Allen, not the quarterback, the linebacker, which I thought, because he would be better in a 3-4, it wouldn't work to our advantage. But Cleveland failed. We needed a 4-3 defensive end, and that's what he was. I mean, we did draft him a little bit too high, but sometimes you never know. No one thought Devin White was going to be what he is. You know what I mean? We didn't know. We got what we needed. We went for a need and not for best player available. As you see, the Josh Jacobs thing turned out well. And, Jonathan Abram, he's a linebacker that they put at safety. He should have. I said it from jump that they should have put 15 pounds on him and put him in the box. That's it. It just wasn't what we expected. But you're right, Cap. We did get Max Crosby, and we did hang out with his parents this weekend. Great people. They were excellent. So much fun to be around. They love that we love their son. They love that the Raider Nation loves him so much. And he's our guy. He's the guy that we follow now. Even though, there's a lot of Derek Carr fans out there, and we follow Max. Everybody follows Max. Everybody loves him. We hope he never leaves the Raiders. We hope he's with us forever. And as you can see, the only one left, basically, there's a couple guys left from that draft, but we don't know how long Hunter Renfrow is going to be there. So, but we'll see. What do you think, Thom?
Well, first of all, I want to say hi to James Farrell in China and Cool Kev and Omar in the chat. But getting back to the draft, when you talk about Al having his hands all over it, his fingerprints all over it, absolutely. I remember back in the 2009 draft when Darius Hayward-Bay was selected, and Mike Mayock was actually on the air for the broadcast. And as soon as the pick was announced, he said, "That's a classic Al Davis pick." And it certainly was. Darius Hayward-Bay is somebody who could have been had in the second, probably maybe even the third round. But, Al wanted his speed, and he was convinced till the day he died that if he got a fast receiver, he just needed to find a quarterback with a strong arm to get it to them. And he could just stretch that field and play that vertical game like he did back in the 60s. As the game changed, he didn't necessarily change along with it. But, going back to the 2019 draft, like you alluded to, Jason, I had Josh Allen going number 4, as a lot of people did. I actually had Klee at the 23rd spot, where Josh Jacobs was. But of course, once Klee got off the board, I had to scratch that and say, well, okay, then we have to readjust things. But I honestly believe that if Klee had been selected in the 23rd spot, he might have performed better with all that pressure off of him. And,
sure.
And who knows, if you combine him along with Josh Allen, that could have been a very formidable defense up front. So who knows how things could have changed if those 2 picks maybe had flipped.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
And
I like Josh Allen a lot. Everybody liked him. You know, he was fast linebacker, but like I said, it looked like he would have been better off in a 3-4. And you could see what he's doing in Jacksonville. You know, he finally found his niche, and they're gonna have a good defense. Like I know it's funny to say about the Jags because they've been laughing stocks, but we went down there and yeah, they did some things to us down in Jacksonville.
No, we did some things to ourselves down in Jacksonville.
Yeah, I'm glad you said it, Tom. I can't. I can't.
You can only shoot yourselves in the foot so many times before you can't walk.
but
Yeah,
and actually, it's unfortunate that we didn't draft Josh Allen because I actually took a flight home with a guy. I think it was at one of the Cincinnati games, and he was going with me to the first flight, which was going into Washington or Baltimore. I'm sorry, and he actually knew Josh Allen very well, but from his UK ties, said, "Hey, all you got to do as a Raider is you draft Josh Allen, and you're gonna win. The guy's a winner, and I'll get him up on your show." So there was another missed opportunity that I could have had Josh Allen on the show with the family, but we did draft Josh, and I'm gonna flip for the elephant in the room because this is draft related to a point. Josh Jacobs has not signed his tag. He is not going about doing the voluntary, and obviously stress voluntary workouts that the Raiders have. Obviously, he doesn't want to do anything to cause problems to him or the Raiders. But there has been conjecture that both Josh Jacobs as well as Jason mentioned it, Hunter Renfrow might be doing some moving on draft day from the Raiders. And I was going to say, have you guys been hearing of the same conjecture? And what are your thoughts on moving Jacobs and Renfrow? And if you want to keep them, that's for sure. You guys can go. I'll give it to you, Tom. Then you can take it, Jace.
All right, thanks. First of all, I don't think Josh Jacobs is going anywhere. I'll be honest with you. I think the Raiders did him a favor by putting the franchise tag on him because, again, that upped his salary from $8 million to $10 million, and he might even get more than that, depending on any incentives that are in there. Now, the fact that he hasn't signed his franchise tag yet, I wouldn't worry about it. We're just in voluntary workouts right now, and he's really not needed there. There's no need to stress out of or everything. So I think there's a lot of drama being cast into it that we don't really need to worry about right now. Hunter Renfrow, I really believe, is going to be traded. Now, I don't know whether it's going to be part of a draft day or maybe a couple of days before draft day. I don't know. It's not to say I don't like Hunter Renfrow. I really do. But they brought in a guy in Jacoby Myers who is a really, really good, dependable weapon in the middle. I don't think they need two of those. Hunter's already got his money. So I think at this point, if they could trade him and maybe get some additional draft capital, I don't think they need anything more necessarily for this year, but they could start stockpiling again for next year, maybe a combination. But again, if they do keep Hunter, that's going to just add to that arsenal that they have this year. But if they move him, they certainly will be able to add to the capital they have and then move forward. So I think they're in good shape either way. But I tell people all the time not to worry about Josh Jacobs. This is going to fuel the man. If he, when he was a little upset last year, he put the team on his back and he carried them, and he carried the load, and he was the leading rusher as well. But now he's got two young guys behind him, and who haven't really seen the field, so they're challenging him to be the man. Now, if he steps up and is the man again, he can earn some good coin. But if not, the Raiders have a backup plan, and that's those two young studs that they have in the backfield that if they can show up healthy and ready to go, I think we'll be in good shape.
Yeah, to go by your point, yeah, Josh ain't going nowhere. I mean, I know a lot of people because everybody's an expert, right? Everybody's a GM. That's why we're here. and they're doing what they're doing in Vegas. Okay, running back market out there. They're not getting paid. You can see it. Who's getting paid? Who's the one that makes the money? Derrick Henry. That's it. If anybody. The running back market out there is so low. Yeah, Josh did get franchise tag. He didn't sign it. You don't know that we're not talking to him. Anybody can say, oh, they're not talking to him. Did you hear from Josh McDaniel's mouth? Did you hear from Dave Ziegler's mouth? Were they talking to you on the phone? No, nobody heard it. Everybody thinks they're so-called. Like the Hunter Renfrow thing, that's a big possibility because we've been hearing that a lot with the Arizona Cardinals. But I don't know. Arizona's going to be in a rebuild. I mean, no Kyler Murray for a minute. They're trading D-Hop. He's going somewhere. Budda Baker wants out. And I know D-Hop said he don't care about the money, but I would sign D-Hop to keep him from that team, because I'm hearing a lot about that too. I'd love to bring Budda Baker. He's a leader. He can play. He's still got a lot of gas left in the tank, but you don't know. He might want a lot of money too. But like you said, Tom, those two young backs, Zeus White and Sincere McCormick, who really hasn't seen the field too much. But I hear a lot of good things on him. A lot of good things on him. Cool, Kev. Henry McCaffrey. I'm sorry. Yeah, Christian McCaffrey. But you see what he's done when he's healthy. He's been hurt a little bit. And then it's like you're paying him all that money and he's not really doing anything because he's hurt. Derrick Henry he's just a man among boys. He's just a monster of a human, and he never gets hurt. What happens if he does? Tennessee wins 3 games. They do nothing. They might not even win a game.
I'm going to hold the other big question that is on the minds of all Raider fans everywhere. It's about a certain position that is much needed. But again, I'm going to hold that one until after or within the working flow of this conversation that we have. And we will, trust me, folks, we will talk about it. And but there are people out there. There are people that still the Raiders might be looking at. Like I said, Budda Baker, Devin White. He wants some coin though. But there's going to be some
too expensive.
Yeah, there's going to be some moves that are made, but we will see. And again, is there? And I'm going to throw this one out there to you guys as well. Do you see something or hear something or think that the surprise move of the Raiders will be? And since I asked Tom first last time, I'm going to ask Jason this time. The surprise move that the Raiders will have on draft day will be what?
Well, I don't think the only surprise I would say is trade down, because I think they're looking at I think they're looking at C.J. Stroud. I think their heart is set on C.J. Stroud. I know we're seeing a lot of stuff about Anthony Richardson, but I think their heart is set on C.J. Stroud. Y'all know, if you don't know, Bryce Young is going to Carolina. Bryce Young visited Carolina and Houston and canceled all other visits. So he's going one or two. And if Stroud gets by the Colts, by some strange reason that they go and get Richardson, I don't think Houston is drafting a quarterback, because there's 2 dynamic quarterbacks that, me personally, I think they're better than any quarterback that's in this draft right now that are going to be out there next year. Maybe 3 that are better than all the quarterbacks in this draft. But I think if you really want to, like a shock, we trade up to 3, give up half of our draft to Arizona. We trade Hunter Renfrow as well. And it would shock me as if we drafted Will Levis. I would throw something through the podium at the draft.
Would you have the same mean face that our buddy did?
No, I would turn around and go get my truck and drive back to Texas. There's no reason to stay. You drafted an arrogant punk kid who said I got an MF and arm. That's why I'm throwing here. I like confidence. I don't like cockiness.
Okay. Tom, anything to add on that?
See, I disagree. I think that Young and Stroud are definitely going 1-2. The Texans are not going to pass him up, even if they tank this year, even if they do horribly and are in the position to draft a quarterback the next year. Well, that just means that they could trade the draft capital they already have for a high pick. I don't.
Don't they
I
have,
don't.
Tom,
I don't
excuse me,
like.
don't they have two more next year, too? Don't they have two first rounders next year, too?
I believe they do. I believe they do,
Yeah.
but I'm not. I'm not
Okay.
positive. Now, again, you never know how things are going to fall out, and where things are going to go in terms of schedule, in terms of how they're going to finish up. We shall see. But I don't think that the Raiders trade up for that. I think they stay at number 7. I don't think that they like anybody from the quarterbacking room so much that they're willing to sacrifice as much as they would need to move up from 7 to 3. I understand that. I know that they may like him, but if Stroud does happen to drop to 3, I don't think the Raiders make that move. Once again, if they do, I think they're sacrificing a lot in terms of how they can build that defense as quickly as possible. This team needs to have at least 4 to 5 starters come out of the draft. I think that's one of the reasons why they haven't gone for any of the high price free agents to this point. But again, my take is that they need to have 9 to 10 players from this draft make the team. I know that seems like a lot, but of that, I think they have to have 4 to 5 starters, and we'll talk about that a little bit when we look into the draft. But I don't see them making that move.
Okay. Well, the one thing that I can say, and I don't know, Jason, if you have gone 1 through 31 in your mind. If you have, great. But I do know that Thom has. So I'm gonna let everybody know you don't have to watch next Thursday because Thom has got 1 through 31, with the Dolphins being the schmucks that lost their pick. That's why there's only
Ross,
31
man.
picks.
You can't knock them for trying.
Yeah, they. Well, it's like I said, if you're gonna cheat, don't get caught.
Yes.
Right. But 1 through 31, you don't have to go.
Trying. Remember that.
Yeah, right. If you're gonna do it, don't get caught. And if you're not cheating, you're not trying. But we don't. I mean, I'm going to be at the draft. Jason's going to be at the draft. That's why we don't really need to show up on Thursday because Thom's going to tell everything that's going to happen. So I'm going to turn it over to Thom because I'm enamored. I watched this list, and I said, yeah.
Me too. Thom sent me this list, and I'm like, oh,
I can see it.
Oh, okay. This looks kind of right.
All right, let me just go through it real quickly. I'm just going to rifle through everything quickly, and then we can get feedback on it. As I mentioned, Panthers and Texans. I see Young going first and Stroud going second. For the third spot, I see the Cardinals trading down to the Colts. The Colts move up 1 slot. The Cardinals move down 1 slot. So the Colts take a big chance, and they take a flyer, and they take the quarterback, Anthony Richardson, which means you've got quarterbacks going 1, 2, and 3. The Cardinals move back to 4, and they get their guy, Will Anderson. So not only do they get their guy, but they get additional picks. 5, the Seahawks take Jalen Carter, defensive lineman. Jack and I talked about that last week. At number 6, I see the Lions trading down, and I see the Washington Commanders, moving up because there's going to be a big ownership change. I think it's time for them to pull the trigger and bring in a new quarterback. So I see them grabbing Will Levis at number 6. Then the Raiders, I see them getting cornerback Devon Weatherspoon at number 7. The Falcons with defensive end Tyree Wilson. And then the Bears go with Peter Skoronski, the stud offensive tackle lineman from Northwestern. Lucas Van Ness, the defensive end, goes next to the Eagles at number 10. At number 11, I see the Titans taking Bijan Robinson, the running back, who's going to replace Derrick Henry, who's either going to be gone by injury or trade. Then I see the Texans again going for Christian Gonzalez, cornerback, at number 12. Number 13, Paris Johnson, the offensive tackle, goes to the Jets. Another offensive lineman goes off the board next to the Patriots, Broderick Jones at number 14. Number 15, I have the Packers going with a wide receiver, Jackson Smith-Njigba. I hope I pronounced that correctly. 16, the Lions come back and they get Brian Branch, the safety. Pittsburgh at number 17, they go with Joey Porter Jr., cornerback. And then the Lions come back and pick offensive tackle Darnell Wright at number 18. The Buccaneers at 19 go with defensive end tackle Miles Murphy. The Seahawks at 20 go with, I believe, I had Michael Meyer, the tight end. So the Seahawks go with the tight end, the first one off the board at number 20. 21, the Chargers go with defensive tackle Kalijah Cansey. 22, the Ravens go with wide receiver Quentin Johnston. Number 23, the Vikings, what some people may call a reach, but I really like this guy, cornerback Emmanuel Forbes. 24, the Jaguars, they get a cornerback, Keely Ringo. The Giants draft Zay Flowers, wide receiver at number 25. Number 26, the Cowboys take Zay Flowers, and he's a wide receiver also. Or I may have gotten that wrong. Okay, Zay Flowers, goes to the Giants at number 25. And then the Cowboys select Dalton Kincaid, the tight end. So the second tight end comes off the board. The Bills select linebacker Jack Campbell at number 27. The Bengals select who I think the second best running back in the draft, Jahmyr Gibbs. And I think he's going to replace Mixon at the running back spot. The Saints, here's where the play comes in. And Jack's going to like this one. So at number 29, I think the Saints are going to go to the Raiders, and we're going to do a trade down. So the Raiders at this point are going to move up into the first round, and they're going to pick their quarterback of the future, Hendon Hooker, at number 29. And then the Eagles at 30 go with Nolan Smith, the defensive end outside linebacker. And then to round out the first round, the Chiefs bolster that offensive line and go with Jalen Duncan. So there is your first round in a nutshell.
I like the fact that you're not blowing draft capital at number 7 or trading up even earlier for a quarterback, and you're still getting a quarterback that was talked about as going to be the 5th, if not the 3rd quarterback in this draft had he not had that Achilles injury. And, and for those that are saying, okay, well, he's 25 years old or whatever, he is experienced. He can run, he can throw, he can do all the things that you are wanting to do, and he is erudite and urbane. That means the kid's got a noggin on his shoulders.
Well, plus Jack,
one receiver.
To interrupt you though, but if you trade up and get him in the first round, you get that 5th-year option as well.
Right, you get that. Just taking the points, T. Like you said,
the one thing about Hooker, he doesn't keep his eyes on one receiver. He doesn't follow his receivers. He goes through his progressions. He knows where he's going, but he looks them off an awful lot. He does. I like Hendon Hooker a lot, Tom, too. I really do. I was hoping that he would fall to the second. You know what I mean? But I don't see it happening because, he's being talked about an awful lot now. Now, when I saw with the Washington with Levis, I don't know, because I don't know if Eric Bieniemy would want him. I mean, I like the Eagles pick. Oh my God, Lucas Van Ness and what's his name? The kid that the Nolan Smith. My God, that defensive line, it would just get better. Like, it's crazy. I would see the Eagles trying to trade up to get Jalen Carter because you're hearing all the stuff about him, right? And who are the 2 guys that were like his big brothers at Georgia?
Davis, who's already there on the Eagles.
And Kobe Dean, who's with the Eagles as well.
Right.
So I thought it would either be Carter or them sitting tight at 10 and taking Bijan Robinson, the running back from Texas. And I see Tennessee possibly trading up for a quarterback.
Yeah, I don't think that the Seahawks are going to let him get out. If he goes to number 5, I think that's where he's going to go.
Yeah, Seattle's defense was Swiss cheese when it came to the run game. They were worse than worse. They were like the 105th team in college football. Their run defense was so bad.
They need an absolute pillar. I remember when a couple of drafts ago when Brown, the massive defensive tackle out of Auburn, I kept saying if there's one guy in the draft I want the Raiders to get, it's him. But there was no way that the Panthers were going to let him go because they had to have something to form the solid base and that foundation of the defense, which is what he became.
Malcolm Brown, right? Was it Malcolm Brown?
I don't think it was Malcolm Brown. I can't remember right offhand, but I know Brown's his last name. I know that much. I have to go back and look at.
Or is it Derek? Maybe Derek. I don't know. We're old, Tom. We forget.
we're old.
Well, as stated, that's the draft. I like Tom's draft. I like the fact that Thom has us grabbing Hooker. But
yes.
in the off chance that the Raiders don't, and this is where I said we were going to talk about quarterback. I think it's about time to get this conversation in. In the off chance that the Raiders don't trade up into the first round, get that extra year, or somebody surprises and grabs him before he would even be available, because there's always surprises every year. Where do you see the Raiders going at? Because there are two things that are I think that are stone cold locks in this draft for the Raiders. Two things. I see the Raiders drafting a quarterback, round to be determined, and who. And I see the Raiders drafting a tight end, round to be determined, and who, based upon the fact that they let Waller go, that they let Foster Moreau go, and that they know that even though that they went out and got probably two of the better free agents in who they acquired, Howard and the kid from the Titans. I know they're H's because we have Triple H for tight ends. We got Howard, Horsted, and Hooper, right? So we got Triple H a tight end, but I know the Raiders are going to get a tight end. Where? I don't know. But your thoughts on if they don't go up and get Hooker in the first round, who do you see the Raiders drafting at quarter and tight end, and where do you think they might get on? And I'm sorry if I'm throwing you one that you weren't prepared for, but I figured I would at least let the brains figure it out.
Jack, I'll go ahead and jump in here since I've got that all written down and got it all written out here. So you didn't tell me that ahead of time, but I'm prepared.
Oh, T.J.3, I tell you what, you're so prepared, man.
So if the Raiders stand pat and they don't trade into the first round and they end up with the number 38 pick, this is where you have to go for your position of need. And at this point, the position of need is definitely going to be the linebacker spot. So I think what you do at that point, if you're the Raiders, is you go for the highest available rated linebacker on the board. So the four that you have are Drew Sanders, Jack Campbell. I mentioned that I had the Bills already taking him in round one. So that leaves you with Drew Sanders, Diane Henley, and then I can't remember who the other one that I had was. Well, I had those two anyway. So between Drew Sanders and Diane Henley, you've got those two definitely to look at. Jack, to answer your question, for the tight end, I don't see them selecting until the fifth round. Zach Kuntz, who's a huge tight end with a huge wingspan, very similar to Max Crosby, tight end out of Old Dominion, a good old basketball school. So I think that the tight end pool is very deep. The Raiders can certainly shore up other needs and then be able to draft the tight end. And Zach Kuntz, I think, will be a very good value. I think he could very, very well work into a starting position, which, we had a receiver work his way into a starting role a couple of years ago by the name of Hunter Renfrow, who worked in from the fifth round. So even though you're drafting a tight end in the fifth round, I think you're getting good value, somebody who I think can be a dynamic player and work his way into the starting lineup. So if they stand pat, I see the Raiders going with linebacker in the second round, and then they've got 3 picks in the fifth round. It was the third of those 3 picks, number 174, that I had them slated to pick Zach Kuntz, the tight end out of Old Dominion.
Yeah, speaking of tight end, I like. It's funny because I just listened to an interview on him yesterday. Tucker Kraft, tight end from South Dakota State. He's a jackrabbit. Yeah, not great competition, but he's a big kid, got nice hands. He's a little squirrely. He reminds me a little bit of Rob Gronkowski when he came out. Rob Gronkowski is a little out there, likes to have a good time, a little bit of a partier. But when it comes to football, he's focused, 100% focused on it. I like Tucker Kraft. I'll tell you what, T3, I do like Zach Kuntz as well. I think he'd be great. But if Sam Laporta would be available, the tight end from Iowa, I think he would be the best bet for us because of his blocking ability, his pass catching ability, and he comes from pedigree at Iowa where, who was it, Kittle? He's got a pedigree. Iowa always has tight ends. They always got a good defense, of course. Other than their tight ends, most of their offense stinks. I hate to say it, I don't mean to say it, but their offense coordinator's there because Dad's there. Y'all know it. If you don't watch college football, Iowa can't score, but they stop everybody. So, yeah, and linebacker, I also like Drew Sanders a lot. Arkansas linebacker, he started at Alabama, left Bama, was down, hand down, and then they stand him up. The kid can go sideline to sideline. He's pretty quick. He's got good instincts, can tackle. A little bit coverage, you can work on the coverage. Everything can be coached up. Just like Jack Campbell. If Jack Campbell's there, we don't run to the podium to take him. There's a big problem because he's long. You said Buffalo, right, T3? He does remind me of Edmonds, their linebacker, because of his size. He's long. He can move for a kid his size. He can move. And another Iowa guy.
And that's why I had him slated as going to Buffalo because they need a replacement for Tremaine Edmonds.
Yeah, absolutely. They
got
Milano there, but, Milano,
Going back to linebacker, I was going to mention the other name that I had on the list and went back through my notes was Trenton Simpson, the linebacker out of Clemson. And you were right earlier, Jason. Derek Brown was the guy we were talking about from Auburn, the stud defensive tackle who now plays with the Panthers.
Yeah. But, yeah, you're right. Simpson there, too. Clemson linebacker. Little rangy, kid kind of long, he could play thumper or he could cover a little bit, not too much, but like some of these linebackers, you got to have fast linebackers. Y'all watch the NFL, everybody out there in the chat, you know what it is. It's a passing league now. That's all it is. Like I like Noah Sewell from Oregon because of his speed. You need somebody that can keep up with Travis Kelce. I know Travis Kelce isn't the fastest in the world, but gosh darn it, he just gets open. I want somebody in his hip pocket whispering in his ear, whispering sweet nothings to him, wanting him to take him to the prom. That's what I want. Because we went and got Jayon Brown, and has anybody seen him since we signed him? Did we put him on the milk carton?
Yep. He's there. He's on that milk carton. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. And I know we have our linebacking core is basically undrafted free agents. I liked Masterson. I think Masterson can play. He's just got to get a chance. He got burned this year, which I liked. And like we had corners, Sam Webb, Tyler Hall, you know what I mean? But we need help all three phases of our defense. We need defense.
Not only do we need help, we need talent.
Yeah, true that. I'm sorry. You're right. Absolutely right. And like you said, T3, we have 12 picks. We need at least 5-6 starters from this draft. We have to have it. And I know they're going to go after offensive line. There are some guards out there. There are a few tackles we can get later rounds. But these first 4 rounds have to be starters. From day one, they have to be a starter, no matter what.
And I'm not even counting if we're able to get Hendon Hooker in the first round. I'm not even counting him as one of those starters. I'm hoping ideally that they could select him and let him sit a year and that Jimmy G can man the fort and stay healthy for at least 1 year.
My paisano, hey! Okay, another Italian, I love it.
Yeah, and you bring it up, and I'm gonna roll it right into that because you're saying the first 4 rounds have got to be guys that just go immediately in and maybe immediately within, I would say, the first 6 weeks.
I'm still here.
Okay. Immediate within the first 6 weeks. Maybe not right away. Maybe it takes a little bit for them to break in, but the guys in rounds 1 through 4 have got to be immediate contributors, and that they are there now. If I'm not mistaken, it's 1, 2, 2, and 3, 3, 3, right?
It's actually it's 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7. That's how it stands right now.
Okay. So I'm gonna go. Okay, so this is how we're gonna do it. We're gonna go. I'm gonna say, Jason, your first rounder at 7 is this, and then obviously Thom has already stated that we get the corner. And by the way, you called the corner, correct? The kid from Illinois.
Yes, Devin Witherspoon.
Okay, what made you decide him
Witherspoon
over Gonzalez?
Well, I heard this mentioned on a couple of other podcasts too. Devin Witherspoon is not hesitant to go up and make a play and make a hit on a receiver. Very reminiscent of what Nnamdi Asomugha used to do back in the day. They used to not throw at him later on because he just was that lockdown corner. But Nnamdi decided sometimes he wanted to go out and initiate contact, which is something very reminiscent of what Devin Witherspoon does. He's a couple of inches shorter than Nnamdi, but I think he plays a lot of the same type of ball, same type of way. He just goes to where the ball is, and I think that's something that the Raiders definitely need.
Yeah, we need a corner that is going to stick their nose in there. I like Christian Gonzalez. I think Christian Gonzalez is going to get drafted by Detroit because them losing Okuda, and they do have some guys back there, but I think they're going to take him. I like Christian Gonzalez's length. He's 6'2". He runs, I think, a 4.3, maybe a little bit faster than 4.3, but I like his length. He's got good ball skills. He doesn't track the ball super great. He got better. Him and Witherspoon, the same thing. They didn't really get interceptions till last year, and they got better at it. The only thing I like more about Witherspoon is he sticks his nose in there. He will go up and make the tackle. Gonzalez won't. He will, but he doesn't fight off blocks, and that's what I'm worried about. A bigger receiver getting a hold of him on the line and being able to just do what he wants with him.
And the fact that our defensive back coach is from, or it's out of the University of Illinois. Hobbs is is an Illini alum as well. I think that the familiarity between the coach and the players would work in this instance, because again, you already know what the kid can do and what you envision him to do. Okay, so Thom has the corner. Jason Dean, round 1, pick 7. Who's yours?
If he's there, Jalen Carter. The reason why is because to me personally, he's the best player in this draft. I think he can be coached up. We have leaders. We have Chandler Jones. We have Max Crosby that can keep this kid under wraps. If he falls to us, if he gets by Seattle, by some crazy chance, he gets by Seattle and maybe they take Breesy, we have to jump at that because him, Chandler, Max, and I can go play on the defensive line and we're going to get 40 sacks at least. I'm pretty quick. Not big, but quick.
Well, we would have to jump up because if Jalen Carter gets past Seattle at 5, if Detroit doesn't pick him at 6, somebody's going to trade up. Probably the Eagles to trade up, or the Lions could trade back and still get somebody good and get additional picks. But if he falls beyond 5, he's not going to make it to 7.
And I see. What's up, Brief? What's going on, Black Danos? I don't know. I don't get the Clowney 2.0 reference because he's nothing like Clowney. I've watched Georgia. I've seen Clowney too. Clowney made 2 plays in college football that made him great.
You're right. He did. He had 2 plays. One where he sent the Michigan guy's helmet flying, and he didn't really do too much after that.
No, he was just a monster of a guy. But Jalen Carter's been double teamed all year, and he fights double teams off. He changes games himself. I know that Georgia defense is that good. They are. But when Jordan Davis was there, when Nakobe Dean was there, Jalen Carter was still the best player on that defense.
he's also something that our friend Clowney never was, and that's a champion.
True. True. Yeah. Did he? Like, did he not look good at the combine? No. Was he out of shape pro day? Yeah. There's other guys that have done that have succeeded. It is what it is. But if he wasn't there, I would again I wouldn't bother me to take Cansey there even. Tell you the truth, because I know he's small, but he's in the mold of Aaron Donald as well. Short, strong, strong. He is strong like bull. He's a very strong kid, and if they decide to go there, I don't want them to go Breesy. I mean, I have nightmares about Clemson defensive linemen, man. I do. I mean,
I
Dexter.
actually, I did a mock the other day when I was coming over on the flights on Sunday night, and my mock I was torn between Cansey and Tyree Wilson, and I ended up taking Tyree Wilson because I wanted a bookend for Max. And I think that I was okay with that because I know that we drafted the kids last year, the big kid, the LSU guy, and then
and they're saying they're looking good.
Guy.
They said they look good. They're in the gym. Right. They're in the facilities. They lost weight. They said they're looking good. Matthew Butler and Neil Farrell Jr.
Right, and that's the reason why I took Wilson. And yeah, I know that we need a corner. Trust me, but when Wilson was on the board at 7, I said, give me Wilson, and I won't think twice about it because I think that there will be opportunities for corners and maybe lower rounds, but there's not an opportunity to get a guy with the stature and the upside of Wilson. And then, like I said, we have Farrell and the other kid that we drafted last year that will hopefully improve leaps and bounds.
And Wilson can move inside a little bit too.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. Tyree Wilson would not be a bad pick at that spot.
No, not at all. There's like 4 guys that we could pick there that I think most of the Raider Nation would be happy, but you can't make everybody happy. Everybody's going to complain. Everybody's going to say that we should have did this, we should have did that. Looking back at a lot of drafts, we did miss out on a ton of guys, but so did other teams too. Some teams hit, some teams didn't.
Jason, there's only 2 things that'll make Raider Nation happy. One of them is hoisting a Lombardi.
Absolutely.
And the other is firing the head coach.
Absolutely. Well, if that head coach hoists the Lombardi, I'm quite all right with Josh McDaniels.
Agreed.
Yeah, and actually, Ed Winchell made comments about it, and I am, and for those that don't know, I am of patience. I said you don't cook one of those cakes and take it out halfway through the baking process.
Bunk cake.
Yeah, whatever. But or if you have a souffle, if we're going to go hoity-toity, if you take a souffle out of the oven halfway through, it's just going to suck and drop, right?
Sure.
Let the chef, let the cook the whole process, and that's why I said you got to go through year 2 to get to year 3. Don't pull and then if you don't like it at the end of year 3 and the promise is not there or you don't see the vision and their team has not gelled, then you can go and fire the chef. But I am of that mind. So everybody that wants to get rid of a McDaniel, and I do say don't mess up the name. There are people that call them names that are it's childish. It's childish. Stop it. But that's the way I think, but there you go. Okay,
I'll give you a similar analogy along that same line. If you ever bake a cake, you got to take the cake out of the oven. You got to let it cool before you can put the icing on. If you try to put the icing on before the cake cools, it's going to just tear it up.
I like that too. So in round 2 now, Tom, you're already saying that we're taking that linebacker, because I do actually listen to when you say that, because you said that in round 2 we're taking the linebacker.
Best
Jason,
available linebacker, yes.
Jason, what's the pick, and Jason, who you taking in round 2?
Well, if we end up going defensive tackle or, like I said, Tyree Wilson, I think he's going to be there. Blunt cake, that's funny. I think he'll probably be there, and that's Emmanuel Forbes, the corner from Mississippi State. Yes, is the kid tiny? Yeah, he's about 175 pounds, but he took 6 picks back for touchdowns. The kid is a ball hawk. He's all over the ball. He gets his hands on the ball. He can pick up, and he'll tackle. He will get his nose in there and make a tackle. Now, I also like Justin Brents, who's coming up the ladder. I don't know. All of a sudden, I started hearing about him. So let me look this kid up from Kansas State. He looks really good. He does. Kansas State didn't have a bad defense last year. I mean, they played Bama, but it is what it is. Everybody that plays Bama in a bowl game gets lit up. It happens in life. But yeah, Brent's at corner. Like I said, if we go Tyree Wilson or Jalen Carter, I think we'll go corner in the second round, which I would take Emmanuel Forbes if he's there.
Okay, Thom, we're at round 3 now. What are the picks, and who are yours?
So in the 70th pick in the 3rd round, I think at that point you go with the best player available, regardless of position, looking at your overall needs and seeing where you can plug a guy in. So I'm looking at Isaiah Foskey, the defensive end out of Notre Dame. I'm looking at offensive tackle Blake Freeland out of BYU. And I'm also looking at offensive tackle DeJuan Jones out of Ohio State. Those are the 3 guys.
Monster. DeJuan Jones is a monster. I mean, that kid is definitely one of the biggest humans. If he doesn't make it in the NFL, he's going to be in WWE. Believe me, he is a monster of a human. His arms, I think he's got like a 7'4", maybe 7'9" wingspan. Like at his size, he is so big. He's like a brick wall. Got decent feet, not too quick, but decent. And he's that strong that he's just going to throw people around if they get in his way. And like I said, Blake Freeland from BYU, and smart kid, good kid, decent tackle, can possibly move into guard, which he can play both spots, which would be a good thing. We got one of them already, Jermaine Illuminar, who I love. I like Illuminar. I'm glad he's still there. I mean, we still got Brandon Jennings. I don't know why we still got, what's his name? Brandon Parker. I still don't get it. We still have him for some reason. I think he's got something on the organization.
He's got picks. He's got picks of it used to be there was picks of, he's got picks of Mark Davis doing something, and he's using it as blackmail. That's why Brandon Parker is back on this team.
Yeah, he's got something. I don't know. But yeah, best available. I like if he's there. I think he's a center or guard for Minnesota, John Michael Schwartz. He could play both. I mean, I know we have that with Parnham. I think it's John Michael Schwartz, but he's the center guard for Minnesota. But we have both with Parnham. I would love to have another guy like that. He's a big dude, road grader. He can run through. If we get another road grader at guard, we could set up a decent front right there so Josh can run between the guard and tackle and between the guard and center. Because, again, like we've said, Josh ain't going nowhere. Everybody love it. Go buy his jersey because he's still there. He ain't going anywhere. Captain, you want to hear it? Don't put that juju in the air.
No juju. I got his jersey. I'm covered either way. I got his jersey at half price, so I'm good.
You know what you're going to have to do? Everybody, when they were freaking out, when he was changing his number and stuff, the only thing he's going to do is change his number back to 8. That's it.
Okay. So that is true. He's going back to 8?
It's possible.
Well, remember, he's got to buy up all that jersey stock.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's why they're selling them at half price now.
What, they're trying to help him out. Okay. All right. So a couple different things in rounds 3. Now, round 4 How many? Do you guys know? Like I said, I know that round 4. I think we have at least 2, if not 3, picks in round 4.
Well, we got to get that second pick in round 3.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm sorry. I thought you guys
100
kind
pick
of
that we got
ran them all
that we
together.
got for that. We got it for that rapper that we used to have on our team. What was it? MC, I can't stay healthy.
MC Plum.
Yep.
MC, I got a ring and you don't. Ha ha.
MC
All right.
Plum.
So let me go ahead and give you my pick 100. Now, a lot of people said that we would go ahead and select a tight end here and just replace Mr. Plum. Sorry, no shade meant
That's
there.
awesome. That's awesome. That's
but
awesome.
I'm looking at safety Jordan Battle out of Alabama. I'm also looking at offensive lineman Sidey Sow out of a school called Eastern Michigan, who had another guy that we know came from Eastern Michigan. So I'm looking at those two guys.
I like the tight end. I think Tucker Kraft would be there. That's where I think we would take him, or possibly another D tackle. No, we haven't mentioned his name yet. Siaka Ika, I think it is, from Baylor. He will stuff a middle. He reminds me a little bit in the Ted Washington size. You guys remember Ted
That's
Washington?
a big boy.
You remember Sam Adams? You remember how good those defenses were, Raider Nation?
Yeah.
They're the ones we had good defense with those big boys in the middle. He's a big kid. He's quick, and he's an oos. You know how the ooses are. The Polynesians, they're good in the NFL. Every oos has been pretty good. There hasn't been really too many of a bad one. Haloti Nada, bad boy. You know this Ika, I think it is. I hope I'm pronouncing it. Don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at me, Oos. Much mana, Oos. But yeah, I think we'll go with him from Baylor if he's there.
I think it's pronounced Siaki Ika, I believe, but I'm not positive. And I'm glad you mentioned him because I have him on my next pick at pick 109, and starting off the 4th round. Now, once again, I think you have to go with the best available, looking at all of your position groups there. So in addition to him, I've got a couple of other guys. I've got a guy by the name of Yaya Diaby.
Louisville, right?
He's an edge rusher out of Louisville. I also have safety Jamie Robinson, safety out of Florida State, and then Miles Brooks, the cornerback out of Louisiana Tech. So those are all guys I have at that spot.
Yeah,
I like Siaki.
Yeah, this draft isn't really safety good. It's just not. There's a couple. The kid from Bama. I think it's funny for me to say this, but I think Ringo can be moved to safety. Keely Ringo, because I don't think he's really going to be that good of a corner, tell you the truth. I think his defense, more or less, at Georgia helped him out tremendously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually agree with that. Having seen him play, he's more of a hawk / tackler, rather than a cover guy. He did well in Georgia in what they asked him to do, but he does remind me more of a safety than a corner. I will agree with that.
And I think at this, which we wouldn't have our quarterback yet. And if I think we're going to go after one, it would be maybe here, possibly. There's 2 that I'm thinking of. There's Aiden O'Connell from Purdue.
Yep.
Or, I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, Tanner McKee from Stanford.
There's nothing. Hey, no. There's nothing wrong with Tanner McKee.
Here's the thing.
I've been harping on him for a while.
There's a lot of, he can't do this, he can't do that. Well, you know what? There was a lot of guys that they had that 100% can do this, and they said Ryan Leaf was the next great quarterback in the NFL. So.
And I'm glad you mentioned Aiden O'Connell because as we move and transition now to the 5th round, pick 141, this is where I have the Raiders pulling the string on a quarterback. If they don't already have one. Now, I'm assuming if everything is falling flat and when they've not gotten Hendon Hooker like I thought they should, then they have 4 quarterbacks that they could possibly pick here in the 5th round. And again, maybe not the quarterback of the future, but maybe the quarterback of the future. Aiden O'Connell is one of those guys. Clayton Tune, Tanner McKee, and also Jake Hayner out of our friend Fresno State. So we had a guy there from Fresno State who played with the Raiders for quite a few years. And I know some
We
people look
did.
at Fresno State and say, we don't want any part of a Fresno State quarterback. And I say, well, you got to look past that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of Jake Hayner. I hear a lot about him too, and he's got the mentality, and it is what it is. If we pick him, a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, Derek Carr 2.0, blah blah." No, they're not even close to being the same. Remember, Derek Carr had the little baby hands that they said he didn't move up progressions. He kept his eyes on one guy all the time, and that's true. He did do that all the time, all the time.
So, Jason, who do you have at 141? That's the first of 2 fifth-round pick selections the Raiders have.
Well, since I got my quarterback last round, I'm going to go back to the offensive line. And I know this might be a little high for this guy, but I like Jackson Kirkland, tackle for Washington. I think someone might jump up and grab him. I know he's a 6th, maybe a 7th, but I think this kid is going to be very good. And I think somebody's going to jump on him earlier than later just because of another DeJuan Jones, big kid, long arms, size, nice feet. And if we'd have those two, because we're going to hear about this. Colton Miller is good. He's not elite. Okay? He's not. He's good for us. He's good. He would start on most teams in the NFL, but the top teams, like 6, 7 of them, I don't think he would start on. I do love Colton. Thank God we have him because we'd probably be in a little trouble if we didn't. But, yes, I like Jackson Kirkland, the offensive tackle from Washington.
All right. So having said that, let's move 3 picks down to pick 144. So just 3 picks after that. Who have you got? Or if you want me to go, I can go.
Okay, I got one. We're going to go to Max's alma mater. And Jose Sanchez, defensive end. He's an edge rusher. He's kind of built like Max. He's got a motor, 100 miles an hour. The kid rushes the passer. He's good at that. He's got a good first step. He's got a nice move. He's got a nice little spin. Going right to Max's alma mater. This kid said he would love to play for the Raiders and play with Max because that's his guy. That's who he looks up to. And, of course, anybody coming from that school would want to look up to him because Max is a star. He's elite. To me, he's elite anyways. But, yeah, Jose Sanchez from, Eastern Michigan. I like him. Good player.
If he's available at 144, I am rushing this card up. Well, of course, at that point, we did just make picks. They don't rush the card up anymore. But 5th round, 144, linebacker out of Alabama, whose name I love to say, Henry
Toto.
Toto.
Well, actually, it's Toto.
Toto.
And the reason why I know that is because I know the Asians. Okay. Yeah. You pronounce Icho, to.
Well, he's going to hear to. That's what you're going to hear.
Exactly.
He's going to hear a lot of that.
He will. But now, if he's off the board, if he's gone, I'm looking at edge rushers. O'Shawn Mathis, the edge rusher out of Nebraska, or Nick Herbig, the edge rusher out of Wisconsin. So if the linebacker's gone,
too, right?
Huh?
Herbig can play linebacker too, can't he?
Exactly. So again, you've got either a linebacker or an edge rusher at that spot.
Okay, with our next pick, what are we in the 6th?
No, we still have one more 5th round pick.
Oh,
so
boy.
We've done 141 and 144. So now we've got 174. So we dropped down about 30 picks, and I've already given you my pick at this point. This is where I think we grab the tight end. This is where we get Zach Kuntz, tight end out of Old Dominion.
I'm looking at linebacker. I'm looking at Cam Jones, linebacker from Indiana.
He's a good one.
Yeah, that kid. I think he's going to be a steal. So nobody's going to think because it's Indiana. Indiana gets beat on all the time, but this kid can play. He's a good ball player.
Jason, that could end up being one of the best value picks of this draft.
Yeah, I think Cam Jones is good. If you guys don't know, watch his tape. Go check him out. Because I watched this kid a couple times, because I heard the name. And I'm like, Indiana? It's a basketball school. What are we doing here, people? What are we doing picking it? So I said, you know what? The eye test. I don't go by stats. I go by the eye test. I watch somebody play, and that kid looks like a ball player. He played in the Big Ten, which means he's most likely tough because you're playing in them cold weather stadiums all the time. Good luck USC. Good luck UCLA.
All right,
But
guys, I'm going to interrupt you real quick because Jack knows this, and Jason, you may or may not, but I'm here on the East Coast, and I got to get up at 3:15 in the morning to go to
oh
work.
boy,
So
geez, Tom, you finish yours then. Go ahead.
let me go ahead and just give you my picks, and then I'm just going to say goodnight to everybody and back out, and then you can have the rest of it to chew on there. So we have 2 6th rounders and 2 7th rounders left. The 6th rounder at selection 204, I have a sleeper pick here. It is a defensive tackle out of Central Carolina. He's 6'4", 334. His name is Jared Clark. So, again, he's a sleeper pick from a small school, Coastal Carolina, defensive tackle. I think that he might be able to stick on the Raiders as a backup, for depth. Certainly don't see him coming in as a starter, but that's what I see. Then 10 picks behind that, pick 214. Now, the Raiders traditionally are one of the only teams that employs a fullback. There may be one or two of the teams in the league, but I think this guy is going to be available. We already have Jakob Johnson on the roster, but I think at the 6th round, number 214, the Raiders are going to be able to select the best fullback in this draft, who happens to be a young man by the name of Hunter Lupke. He's a fullback out of North Dakota State. And again, I think that could be certainly a steal from the draft. But again, I think he's going to be under the radar because not many teams employ a fullback. Nope. So I think he'd be available there at the 6th round. In the 7th round, I think you go with the best available defensive player. At pick number 220, I've got Anthony Johnson, the cornerback out of Virginia. And then in the 7th round, pick number 231, the Raiders' last pick that they have, I think that they go to the well for wide receiver. And they pick the best receiver that's on the board. And the guy that I'm looking at is a guy from South Alabama by the name of Jalen Wayne, who's got a motor on him. He runs good routes. He's got good speed, and so there you have it. So it's a mix of offense and defense. I think it's got a good selection of people, a good opportunity for people to make the roster. 4 to 5 starters maybe, and some quality depth, so they don't have to go and rely on as many undrafted free agents as they did last year. So that's just the way I see it. So before I say goodbye, gentlemen, any last questions you have for me?
I got one, and Tom, if you can send these picks to me via text, if you don't mind. That's one thing. Tom, did we pick up any offensive guards or tackles in the picks that you had?
Well, we picked up one, and then we had a couple of offensive linemen who could be swing players, and again, so that's kind of what we're looking at. So really, in the 3rd round, I think that's where you're probably going to pick up your starter offensive lineman, and then you may get a second one in the 3rd round as well.
Okay, that's all I had, Jace.
I just want to say, Tom, this was awesome being on here with you. I've listened to you more than once on yours, Heidi's, and when Homer was on your show, the U3, I've listened to you more than one time.
And we appreciate
your
that.
Your knowledge is fantastic. I love hearing your facts. I love hearing your history that you talk about. And for me, being the Raider fan that I am, probably everybody else out there, please go listen to Tom's show. Please plug the show, Tom, please.
Thank you. Well, before I leave, once again, Jack, thanks for having me on. Anytime you want me to jump on, I'm happy to. For those of you out there, I am one of the co-hosts along with Heidi Stabbert of the Only Nation podcast. You can go to onlynationpod.com. We usually put shows up once a week. We've been on a little bit of a hiatus because of the off season, and of course, life kind of happens. I'm also the host of a show called Raider Roots Podcast. Now that's a show that takes each individual year of Raiders history and goes through. It gives you all the results and tells you kind of behind the scenes things. We've got about 70 episodes up. So right now we're up all the way through the year 2018. I'm in the process of putting 2019 together right now, but that's kind of where we stand. And then once we get done with all the years, I've got a special treat. We're going to take Raider Roots a whole different direction once we get current.
Did I get that right? Only Nation podcast, Thom?
That's correct. Only Nation Podcast.
Okay.
Go to onlynationpod.com.
Okay.
All right. Well, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Once again, those of you who are on YouTube or listening on the web through podcast, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you all having me in. I'm gonna exit out the side door while you all continue the conversation, and then I'll catch it on the back end later.
And that's why I had it starting at 8:00, because I know that you had to get up early, and Jason
Absolutely.
said it was better at 8. I have no problem accommodating the brain trust here.
All right. Well, thank you, gentlemen, so much. I appreciate it, and I will bid you all a good evening.
Thanks again.
Have a good night, Tim. Have a great day at work.
Podcast. There you go, Jason. What I said, we did the rounds 5. I know that we have about there's at least a couple in 6 and a couple in 7. It just as a recap, what you think would be available, or maybe, and again, it's a crapshoot. I know at this point it's BPA or BPA at a position of need.
Yeah.
What do you foresee in 6 and 7?
Well, I'm hoping it's best player available. Truthfully, though, I'm hoping we trade a few of them to move up to get what we deserve and what we should have. But if we don't, it'll be best player available. I love the fullback pick. Hunter Lapke, please, North Dakota State. I know everybody's like, oh, well, small school. You know what? Josh Allen came from Wyoming. Okay? And Cody Mouch, he comes from North Dakota State. And he's a monster. He looks like a Raider. No front teeth. The kid looked long hair. He kind of looked filthy. Like he just looked a filthy animal. He should be on our team. We might, if we grab him, that'd be nice. I'd like a second round pick and extra. But best players available. I'm thinking later rounds it'll be possibly another wide receiver. There's a kid from Princeton, Andre. I can't pronounce his last name. It begins with an I. But that kid from Princeton, he's a good wide receiver. That'd be nice. And of course, he's very smart. And they like smart players. They're not gonna BS around. Yes, I know we didn't spend a lot of money in free agency, but this is what these guys do. We're going to have a lot more money next year. And remember, we lost a lot. We have a lot of money on the books on like 4 or 5 guys that aren't even with us anymore. We couldn't go and make that splash by getting Hargrove or Darius Slay, or it would be so much money for one guy when there were so many spots on this team that we have that we need help with. One guy's not going to. Don't tell me Jalen Hargrave is going to be the defensive player of the year. He's not. And would he help Max? Absolutely. But who's covering anybody? Who's at linebacker? I like Luke Masterson, but he needs some help. Who are we going to get?
Yeah, and even John Leon reminds us we're spending $30 million of this year's cap salary on players that are not with us. And I believe they will be off the books after this year. So our cap hits for 2024 will be negligible, I believe, and definitely in comparison.
I just read what Black Thanos.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's right. Steven Willie.
I like Paul Crew. I'm
a Shane Falco guy. Just gotta say. What about Joe Kane from the Eastern? What is it? Eastern something University. Joe Kane, ESU.
Yeah, that's right, Joe Kane. Yes.
What's up?
As long as he's with the program, I mean with the program, literally, right? If he's in a program to make sure that he is straight, I like Joe Kane. I do. I like Joe Kane.
I would take a flyer on Alvin Mack because if he comes back healthy, he was the bad man.
Yeah. And you know what? I would even take the old guy from North Texas State at quarterback. He's really old.
I see this, John Leon, thoughts on Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Not the second round. I like DTR, good quarterback. Played out UCLA. Yeah, I think he may. Is he from Vegas? Is he originally from Vegas? I think he is.
I think he is.
I like him. Second round would be a bit too high for him. Maybe fourth, possibly fifth, because I think second is just a little bit too high. He's going to be there. A lot of those quarterbacks are going to be there. Like T3 said about Clayton Tune out of Houston, good quarterback, But we have more need than that. And I know, yes, Jimmy G is, but remember, Jimmy G's there for 2 years. We possibly still may get Hooker. Hooker may be there at 38. We may trade and get another second round pick. We may drop down to like 11, maybe 10, maybe 12, 13, where we can get Cansey, possibly Joey Porter Jr., pedigree in the NFL. Daddy played for his Squealers. You never know. Y'all know. The draft is a hit and miss. It's a crapshoot. It's 50-50. Right. You don't know. Like, nobody thought Devin White was going to be what he is. You may say you did. Oh, I knew. Nobody knows anything. That's why we're here, and we're not there. We're all couch GMs. We all want to say, I told you so. I was right. Everyone wants to say that. Why? You still got to get up for work tomorrow. You still got to pay your bills.
The only thing that I'm actually happy about saying, and it was at that draft when the Giants drafted Jones, and I said to the Giants fan who was pissed off, I said, "You got a good quarterback that is going to be there under the system that Colbreth had." He was taught well under Colbreth. He's not a bad quarterback. He's not a bad pick. So I can honestly say he's not the greatest, but he is the guy that has done so well for the Giants that they had to spend some money on.
I can't say that because he came from Duke, which is a basketball school. So I was like,
But he's lasted this long.
Yes, he has. And you know what helps him last that long? His legs.
Yeah.
Which I'm kind of, the kid can run. He's sneaky fast. It's weird.
He would have one more touchdown if the grass hadn't tackled him on that Monday night or Sunday night game. You're
absolutely right, Reed. He fits what they do. He fits exactly what they do. That's why I like Aiden O'Connell and Tanner McKee, because they're kind of in the mold pocket passers for Josh McDaniels' offense.
Yeah, China. I was talking about Scott Bakula. I can't remember what his name was, but or I would have said it by. I remember Joe Kane in the program. Okay, but Scott, whatever Scott Bakula's name, just don't throw it to Stone hands. That's all. Don't throw it to Stone.
Featherstone was the receiver. I think this draft is going to be a lot of fun. People are going to be mad. Some are going to be happy. I'm just happy with what we get. I'm glad we got 12 picks. And if we trade up, cool. If we trade down, cool. Because we're going to get some guys. I think Ziegler and McDaniel are smart when it comes to draft, and I think Ziegler is, tell you the truth. Paul Blake, there it is, Paul Blake. Paul Blake was all set up, ready to go to Penn State, all set up. Wally had him set up, and then his dad died, so he had to go run the farm.
That's right. Paul Blake was there. And he's older. He's a little older than Hendon Hooker is by about 10 years or so. And that's why I
15.
said if Hendon Hooker is there, you get Hendon Hooker. Okay,
Come on, everybody. How awesome would it be to have a Hooker jersey for the Raiders? The Las Vegas Raiders quarterback, Hendon Hooker. Come on, that's a win-win. That's a win-win. Come on, Reef. You're with me on this. You're with me on this, Black Danos. Come on, you're my dude. You're my guy.
Yeah, and John Leon reminds us we do have the 12 picks.
Yes.
And we're not necessarily going to use all of those 12 because I think that we're going to manipulate. We're going to move up. We're going to move down using those picks. And by the way, that means that as we move up and move down, there'll be some picks on the other end for drafts next year using those picks.
I don't think we're going to use all 12 picks, tell you the
No.
truth. I think we're going to use probably...
I think 9.
7.
No, I think we're going to use 9.
I think we're going to move.
You think we're going to move up?
Think so.
I don't think so.
I'm not saying that. I think we may move back into the first round.
Well, that I can see. I can see us moving back into the first round for somebody that's there that they want really bad. Might be Hooker. It might be McKee.
No, he won't be a first rounder. No way.
I'm okay, or Jack Campbell maybe.
Jack Campbell, possibly Drew Sanders, possibly Emmanuel Forbes. If Joey Porter Jr., I don't think he's going to get out of the top 16.
No, I think Porter will be gone by 20.
Yeah, I think he's going to be top 20, top 16. Maybe they see an offensive lineman. Maybe that Cody Mouch. You never know. That offensive tackle from North Dakota State without the teeth. Like I said, he looks like a Raider. He looks like a Raider. He looks like a throwback Raider.
Ed says not Ed. It's possible that he will be. He might be a sneak into the back end of the first round because he is probably. And had he not had that injury, he would be a top 3 quarterback in this draft.
He'd definitely be in the top 10 if he never got hurt. He would have won the Heisman if he never got hurt. He would have won the Heisman. Hands down. He would have.
So don't necessarily think on that. If there's anything that you want to talk to about, first off, about the draft, about the way about what you want, Don Webb, permission to come aboard is granted. I see you over on YouTube. Before I get you, now I can put you on. So I saw you on YouTube first. Permission granted. Always good to see you. If you got any other questions or comments about the draft, now is the time. If you want to talk to Jason Dean, I'm going to put the link up. And Jason will take your questions. We got at least another half an hour of doing this. So if you want to talk to Jason Dean about something, if there's anything else draft related, come in now because I am definitely going to bed at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, Thanos, I see what you mean, like junior as in like kids with their fathers. And maybe Cromartie. Is that his name? The kid from the Chargers? He looks good.
Yeah.
Or who's the kid with Tampa Bay? How you doing, Andrew? Who's the kid with Tampa Bay whose dad played as well?
Which kid in Tampa Bay?
Safety. Because he's not bad.
Yeah, I can't
think of his name either. But yeah. Yeah, you're right, Thanos. Not too many, but Joey Porter Jr. played with Penn State, and Penn State was a good defense. Did they get beat up by Michigan? Yeah, but they ran through Penn State. They didn't really throw against Penn State.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, the kid that plays for the Broncos.
There it is, Winfield. There it is. Thank you, Winfield. Thank you.
Yeah, and the kid that plays for the Broncos as the defensive back is probably one of the better cornerbacks in the league.
Surtain. Yeah, Surtain. So, yeah, he's right. There hasn't been many, but there's a couple, and like Joey Porter Jr., he's a decent corner. Like I said, my family knows Penn State. They bleed blue and white, which I can't stand. It's disgusting. But but yeah, I know about Joey Porter Jr. I think he's a fantastic corner. He's tough. He can play man to man, get right in your mouth, give you a shot in the mouth. He'll tackle, he'll ball hawk. But at 7, I don't think so. I mean, I do like Witherspoon and Gonzalez better than him. I got him on the same wavelength as Forbes, like as a 3A, 3B, tell you the truth. But if I had to choose, I'd probably take Forbes because of his, his ball hawking ability. He has 6 picks for touchdowns, man. You can't, and he has interceptions. You can't coach that. His instincts are awesome. Is he going to get beat in the NFL? Absolutely, he's going to get beat. Everybody does. But you know who else used to get beat a lot? Trayvon Diggs.
Okay, and I'm Jason. We are going to be joined by my favorite medical personnel. We got Doc Cabral in here. I'll put him between us, so it's like we can make sure that we
What's up, Doc?
Sandwich. Doc, how you doing?
What's up, guys?
Nothing much.
Hey, guys.
How's it going?
No, hey, if you do get Hooker, I want a Las Vegas Hooker jersey, right? I'll take one. I will.
Absolutely.
Take one.
I will send one to you, I promise.
Jason Dean, if you do that, I'll give you a big kiss.
Now, but wait a second. We got to ask the question. Do you want it in black or white, and what size?
I want it black, of course, and I want it large, please.
So you want a black Hooker?
Yes, I want a black Hooker, yes.
Okay, well, I'm telling the wife. I'm telling the wife.
Okay, look, let me give you my Raider red. Okay, hang on a second. Honey?
Captain, put up Thanos' comment.
Hi.
Hello,
how you doing, honey?
Fine, thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah, was it wait, the jersey will be $9.99 per minute. I like that.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's my Raider red.
Awesome.
She was a Jim Plunkett fan while he was with the Raider.
That's awesome.
And you got to get her a Hooker jersey too, of course.
Yeah, yeah, okay. I'll get her a white one. Okay, I'll get her a white one.
I'm gonna have both, and then I'm gonna have his Pro Bowl jersey as well.
Oh.
That'll be next year. Year after next.
Oh God, no, Mom. I have good news for me.
Go ahead.
Not for you so much, but for me. Caldwell talked to what's his name? Oh God, to Bob Kraft. They're not going to screw around with oh my God, with Matt. They're not going to mess with me. They're going to keep him.
Okay. So you're saying that Mac Jones is definitely going to be there?
Oh,
yes.
Because I didn't want to hear about the Mac Jones to Vegas anymore.
Nope. Hell no. Are you crazy?
People must be, because I was like, you gotta be out of your mind.
Oh, God, you guys are crazy.
Me? I'd rather take Zappy.
Oh, you don't want him to. He's all right. He's not all that, dude.
That's okay. That means that we would have a terrible year, and I get Drake May.
Oh, Jesus God. You know, the worst thing you could do is be a Giants fan, dude. That's the worst thing you could be right now.
My mother, God rest her soul, she was a Giants fan. I used to tell her, what is wrong with you?
I'm sorry. I didn't know you lost your mom. I apologize, man.
Yeah, it's all good. No worries about that, man. She was a good lady. She all right.
How long have you been in Texas now?
About 3 years.
Now, where are you at?
I'm in Carrollton, right outside of Dallas.
I got a friend of mine at Fort Worth. That's why.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
He's a retired Master Chief.
Nice.
And like I said, I just got through seeing Jason this weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we had the TMBC, the Nation Booster Club down here, had their anniversary party.
Wow.
And, Captain was here. Hollywood was here. We had Raider Bear. We had Santiago from Arizona, Andy Cervantes from Arizona, Iron Man from Arizona. Yeah, we had a lot of people. Lachara was there from out west. Oh, it was awesome. Such a good
and Raiderette Vampira Maritza from Pennsylvania.
Yeah, she was
Really?
here too. Yep, absolutely.
Ooh.
It was a lot of fun.
Wow. Yeah, I'm hoping we get one day with the Patriots, but it's hard, man. I'm out in the middle of the desert over here in Yuma, Arizona.
Lucky
I'm in
you.
the Southwest. Yeah, exactly. Southwest. I've been here for
Hey,
over
there's
4.5 years.
I want to say also, awesome job this weekend, man. I had so much fun. I really appreciate the invite. I liked it so much. And I hope we can do more during the year, man.
Yeah, and
You
again,
too, China. Sorry, China. You were there as well.
Trust me, I got pictures of China. They're clothed for all you,
Okay.
for all you people out there. Come on now, I got beautiful pictures of China that was wonderful. So in fact, I'm going to find them. I'm going to show how
Right.
they are. Go ahead.
Doc.
She has clothes on. I don't want to hear anything about it.
Your baseball team, Doc.
Huh?
What's going on with your baseball team?
My baseball team. Oh Christ, man! They're having issues. The Sox.
Yes,
my Sox.
Your
My
Sox.
Sox is sucking a little bit this year, but the Bruins are doing great.
Yeah.
The Bruins.
Yes.
I gotta be honest. I mean, they scared me.
I'm happy that because I'm a Knights fan.
Really?
Yes, I'm a Golden Knights fan. I'm
There
happy my boy
is
Stoner is back. We got Jackie Aces.
Oh shit!
There is the beautiful China in Dallas.
Cool, man.
I told you I got good pictures of her, and she's a gorgeous lady. So there you
tell
go.
her thank you.
Yeah, she is. She got a huge heart too. Great person.
Oh God, yeah, man. Oh, when I was having problems with my getting my wife taken care of, the Raider Nation really reached out hard, and I was grateful for that. I really am. I'm still grateful for that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna toot my own horn.
Oh shit!
I stayed on the bull for at least 2.5 minutes, and Oso has it on video.
I think it's full of bull, but that's my prediction only. So
I was on the bull. I was not thrown for at least 2 minutes.
But did you throw up? That's the question.
No, I didn't throw up. I don't. Hey, I don't go on the bull drunk.
Oh, and by the way, Mr. Dean, I'm sorry, but I call him Jay. I call him by his name. I've known him since 1987. We go way, way back in the Philippines.
Damn.
And by the way, about the Philippines, DynCorp has a big contract over there.
Really?
Yes. DynCorp has a big contract over there right now. So they're going to start tearing up some old bases up and making them new places now. So, but as for me, I'm still working with the Army Testing and Evaluation Command here in Yuma. And we do great things for the Jesus Christ, Miss J. Do you really got to do that on TV?
I was gonna say this was my waitress.
Oh Lord,
this is my waitress. This is my waitress.
You're going to hell, Jerry. Lil, you better not let Lil see that. You're gonna be in big trouble.
Yeah, Jimmy Farrell. It's not our night tonight. It is what it is.
Oh Lord, this boy, man. He's gonna have me in trouble because it's on TV too.
Oh, and one other thing. One other thing while I have her here.
Better watch what you're showing, bro.
I got you. No. This is a good one. We had the pleasure of having Max
in the
house.
They were fantastic. Max's parents were great.
Really?
Thom in the house, and she is sporting the
Vera and Brian. They were awesome.
ESF coin.
They were awesome.
Max Crosby's mom with the ESF coin, and great lady.
Max Crosby, the linebacker?
No, defensive back.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
They're from Texas. Yeah, they come out.
Wow.
Yeah, they're great people.
Oh wow, that's cool, man. Right on.
Yeah, they're good people. Doc, what do you think your team is going to do in the draft?
Honestly, I think they're going to fall back.
You think?
I think they are. The reason why I say that is because they got two quarterbacks.
No wide receiver?
They don't like taking receivers in the front of the. See, I'm reminded of when TB12 got 199.
Jackson Smith and Jigba.
I think they're going to go. I think
and
they
Jigba's
might
going to
try
be
to
a
do it at
star.
the end of the first. Maybe they might go into the third round and get
There we
one.
go.
They always grab a lot of late draft picks.
There we go. Another Patriots trying to.
And they always get guys they never heard of, and they turn them into stars, and then they release them.
Think about this. Mac Jones went to school at the Bold School. It's a selective school in Jacksonville, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
To go there, you have to be referred, and
Kinda
the referral
like
has to be a
IMG.
good referral, huh?
Kind of like IMG, right? IMG
Yes,
Academy.
yeah. Well, wow, man, that's damn. Haven't heard that in a long time.
Yeah, I know some things.
You're a slicker, brother.
I know some things.
No, but the Bold School, Corky Rogers was his coach, and Corky was a college coach and a pro coach.
Really?
Yes. I mean, Corky was he made them he put Bulls on the map.
I remember Winky was at IMG for a minute.
Really?
There is for Jimmy Farrell, as you can see, Raider Bear, Mama Bear, Wade, otherwise known as Deadpool, and myself. So the answer is yes. I was with Raider Bear and Mama Bear.
My boy Deadpool. That's my dog.
That's cool, man.
No one knows what he looks like. Really, nobody knows who he is. Not many people know who he is, Doc. Like, honestly, he can walk around and no one has any clue.
Really?
Yes,
I know what he looks like, though.
Yes, we know what he looks like. No one knows. He came up to me and goes, "What's up, dude?" I was like, "What's up, man?" He goes, "You remember me?" I'm like, "You remember me?" He goes, "Oh, yeah." Yeah, me and him had a good time in Austin. We had a good time.
Oh, you were in Austin?
Yeah, we were in Austin together before. Yeah, I met him a few years ago.
Oh, well, cause I've got friends out. I got a friend. What's his? Oh God, Scott. Is it Scott? The one that was in the Philippines. Got on a ship with you?
With me?
No, with Jay.
Cat. What? I ain't in no ship.
Corpsman that was from the Philippines with you on the ship.
Which ship?
The one that you were on when we were in San Diego.
The corpsman that I had in San Diego, his name was Christensen.
Yeah, he retired at Paul Christensen. He retired as singing chief in Austin.
Okay.
He went to IDC school. He came back. He was with a friend of mine, John Correa, who was from New York originally. We went to course school together, and John died working for the DEA. But he was he was recon corpsman who went to was the Sailor of the Year, made chief, went to PA school, being lieutenant, and passed away when he was a lieutenant.
Okay, well, if you got Christensen phone number, address, I'll be more than happy to pop out. Hey, and if you want to come into the show, if you got any other questions about the draft or for Jason Dean, I put the link up again. It was fantastic hanging out with Raider Bear and Mama Bear, and I can't wait to hopefully do a show with them in the future. So hopefully you'll see a show with myself and Raider Bear hanging out together doing a show if all goes well. Doc, you don't think anything about what the Pats are going to be doing?
They're not going to do anything in the first round up front. They'll probably be late first round, or in the beginning of the second round, middle second round. They're going to do all this stuff in the backside.
Okay, well
they're going to backdoor. They don't like doing stuff in the front.
You're taking my material from me, Doc. Back door. Yeah, the back door, just like a Robert Kraft move. Hey, Doc.
I would love to meet Robert Kraft. I really would. I'd have a ball with him.
Hey,
well, guys,
take care,
I'll let
Doc.
you go, guys. Have a good night. Be careful out there. God bless.
We'll see you, Doc.
God bless, guys.
And blessings to your wife as well, Doc.
Yes.
Hey, honey. Jay said good night. Good night.
All right, take care, guys.
Good night, guys.
All right, Doc. Good to hear from Doc. That's why I have I have great friends. So I said, Doc and I have been known each other since '87. So it's been a while. If you got any other questions about the draft or where you think the Raiders might be going, China. Actually, that's a good question. Who do you think might be grabbing Max Dugan? I don't think it's going to be us, but I can see him as a Patriot.
Nope. I think he's going undrafted.
Okay, well, who do you? Then that leads me to the second question. Who do you think would pick up Dugan along with the kid from Georgia who's undersized at quarterback?
I think Stetson Bennett will get drafted before Dugan, tell you the truth. And like I've seen a couple different mocks with maybe us taking Stetson Bennett. He is a winner. I don't care what his age is either. It would be deep, like 6th, 7th round, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I could see you taking a flyer in the 7th, but yeah, it kind of like the way that the Niners took the kid with Mr. Irrelevant last year. I can see
Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy.
Yeah. Okay, folks, you got any other questions or any other comments? You got about 10 minutes because I'm going to bed.
Yes, it's getting to be that time, everybody.
That's it. And Jason's going to bed too. Jason, and I was until we get somebody to pop in. You firmly believe that Josh is going to be there. I am not as 100% as you are.
I firmly believe that Josh Jacobs is going to be with us all next year. Here's my reasoning. They like him a lot. And I get why we're not paying him. Take the tag, because you're not going out and getting money anywhere else. What are you going to do? Sit? You might get 11.5 from us. Maybe 11.8. Take the tag. It makes no sense. If we trade you, you're going to be you're just going to be there for a year because no one's going to pay a running back. They're going to use you, and you're just going to bounce around. We're not using you. We want you. You are a Raider. You said his words. Build around. I'll take what I have to with the money I want to take. Build. They are. Wait, the draft is coming. They're not going to make no flashy picks. They got him Jacoby Myers. What's wrong with Jacoby Myers? We got Austin Hooper at tight end. There's nothing wrong with Austin Hooper. A lot cheaper than Waller. I mean, I don't think O.J. Sandiego is going to be there anyways. I don't think O.J. is going to be there. O.J. Howard, I'm sorry. I think O.J. Howard might be there for camp. That's about it. I think he's gone.
Okay. You brought up our ex tight end. I'm gonna bring up our current Giant fan. Gabe, how you doing? You got a little bit of time, Gabe. You got about maybe 6 minutes.
Oh, okay. So what's going on? Or are we talking about the draft or what? What's
Yeah, we are talking about the draft. What people are going to be doing. In fact, I even made mention in the fact that years ago I told Giant fans that they would be very happy with Daniel Jones as their quarterback, that it was a decent pick at the time. So I've been made to be Nostradamus on that one. Okay, no matter if you're a Giant fan and you like him or don't like him, I said he will be a very good quarterback for you and you will get a lot out of him. So in that respect, I was correct.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I think if we could go back in time, I still don't think it should have been the pick at 6, but it is what it is, and we're happy right now. We're happy with it today. I don't think it changes the fact that it was still a bit of a reach at pick 6th overall. I don't think it changes that. But however, yes, we are happy today, and he did win us games this past year, and he is on the rise on the QB rankings. So yes, we are happy with the pick today, but Singleton's a good QB, but not $40 million good. Well, is Jalen Hurts?
And I agree with that too. I do agree with that too.
Is Jalen Hurts
unfortunately what the market is?
I mean, it's not what the Giants wanted to pay him. It's what the market really was. It's not
They kind of had to pay him that.
right. And also it put us in a position where we could go out and get Darren Waller or Paris Campbell. It gave us that opportunity where the franchise tag would have basically left us with barely anything in cap space. So it was basically the Giants were basically forced to pay him so they didn't have to deal with cap hell again this offseason, and they could actually put a team around him, which Daniel Jones really hasn't ever had a team around him except Saquon Barkley, who's a running back. So it was pretty much and it also like made sense so the Giants could then tax Saquon, who the running back franchise tag is a lot more reasonable than the quarterback franchise tag. So it was kind of just the Giants had to do it. And initially he wanted like 48 million. So I'm just glad we didn't give him that. So I think 40 million was a good middle ground. And I don't have any hate for the deal now, but again, that raises his expectation though. This year he has to play like a $40 million QB, or yes, he's going to get hate from the fan base. I mean, he has to live up to it. It's not like you get your money and you got to keep getting better in Dable's system. But what's the Raiders? What's going on with the Raiders? What's going on over there?
You know what? Don't worry. No, Jason, go back and watch the show game because I had an early start.
Oh, I thought it started at 9.
I had an early start at 8:00 because Thom T.J.3 works early, as does Jason Dean. So I started an hour early, and we got about 3 minutes left.
Oh, all right.
So go back. I'm not being an a-hole. I'm just saying.
I will. I thought it started at 9. That's my bad.
Yeah, no, normally it did, but I accommodated my guests tonight because they were the heart and soul of the show.
Oh, yep. Valid. Yeah. Very valid. Very valid. But
let's talk about the Giants. And I've said this before. Are the Giants going to do something special on draft night, or do you think that because you're talking about the wide receiver, I see the wide receiver going to a couple. The one that you were talking about, Zay Flowers, I see a couple different people grabbing him in a couple different mocks. What makes you think that the Giants are for sure going to get him?
Well, I don't think it's for sure. Nothing's for sure when you're at pick 25. I mean, that's
true.
That's just reality. In my opinion, it's a possible opportunity, or there's a chance of it. Now, I think there's also the chance of Jordan Addison falling to us at 25. Who I also I think honestly, if I'm being realistically, that's who the Giants I think like the most. So I think for sure that it could end up being Jordan Addison. Any one of the top receivers in this draft, if any of them are at 25, I think that's where the Giants will go. But if not, you can go corner. We need a cornerback. You can go corner. Deontay Banks out of Maryland. I like him. You got Kaylee Ringo out of Georgia. Now,
what do you think, Joey Porter Jr.?
I like him, but I think he's gonna be a top 15 pick. I tell
you the truth. I like Ringo possibly going to free safety in the NFL.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Honestly, I do.
It would be interesting. I don't know what. I haven't done a lot of research on him, to be completely honest, because I just think it's a little too bit of a reach at 25. But we could trade back. I think there's a possibility we even trade back if there's not someone the Giants like there at 25. But yeah, I think if there's a receiver, one of the top, Jordan Addison, Quinn Johnson, Zay Flowers, one of the top ones sitting there, I think there's definitely a chance we grab one of those guys on draft night. But
I think Jordan Addison would be there.
Yeah, I think he might, but there's Baltimore ahead of us, which might draft a receiver, so don't see Barkley sign the tag. He should have gotten more.
I think Baltimore is going to get Hopkins.
Yeah, they might. He has a big cap number. Don't see. All right, Ed, he's going to sign the tag. Trust me, he's going to sign the tag. When it comes to July 17th, he's going to sign it. He wouldn't be working out with the team in Arizona for a month if he wasn't going to have intentions of not playing with them. So I don't have any concern now. If we get to July 18th and he didn't sign this tag and he's holding out, then we can talk about it then. But as of right now, this is standard operation for any franchise tag player, and all the franchise tag players are doing it. If you have a good agent, your agent will tell you should hold out until you really have to sign that tag. And we're far away from that date, so I'm not concerned at all about that. Now, if we hear that he's going to actually hold out the whole year, that's a different story. But we saw what happened to Le'Veon Bell when he held out. It did not go well for him. So I don't know why Saquon would do it. It just in the past, it has not gone well for players that have held out the whole season. So.
That's true.
Also, he's losing another year, and every year is valuable to a running back, especially the running back position. So
especially him.
Right, especially him. An injury. He already has the injury questions.
Yeah.
And also, he's requesting unreasonable money for. He was healthy. He's fully healthy for 2 out of the 5 seasons in the NFL. I mean, you cannot get a $15 million, $16 million contract like CNC if you're only healthy for 2 out of the 5 seasons that you are.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
It's just reality, and the Giants didn't want. Every player in the NFL now wants it's all about the guaranteed money, and the Giants just didn't want to commit a lot of guaranteed money to him because you've seen what happened with the Zeke Elliott contract, for example. They gave him way too much guaranteed money, and they had to hold on for him for longer than they probably wanted. So I don't know. I think he'll sign when it comes to the deadline. He'll sign the tag. That's what I think. Yeah, I know. I realize that. All right, Captain, thank you for having me on. I appreciate you. I will go back and watch the beginning. Right after this, I will go back. Because I'm interested to see what you guys do. Because I heard Jordan Davis visiting you guys the other day, or is visiting you. So
it is definitely an entertaining and informative show. And I would be remiss if I didn't give props to the man got the fingers wrong. That guy right there, Jason Dean, as well as the other gentleman that was in the spot that you're at, who is Thom Jones, who I think you saw the other night as well.
Thank you, youngster. I appreciate it.
It's great stuff. And again, Gabe, thanks for coming in as well.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. I'm sorry I came in at the end. I thought you guys were starting at 9, so I'm sorry about that.
It's all good, buddy. No worries, man.
See you guys. Appreciate you.
See you, man.
Like they say in the movie, the dude abides.
Well, man.
Take care. And no, it's good because I got some things to do anyway. So, and I'm recording this, so this is going to be on for Thursday and next Thursday. Just for things that so I know I have it in the can, and again I want to thank you and Thom for all the work that you did on that. Excellent work, excellent conjecture, good stuff. And I hope that the Raiders get it even half as good as what you guys had us getting. The quality of people, like I said, T3 has us reaching in for Hooker. If we do that's fine. But I mean, if he's not already gone, I'd take Jack Campbell as if he's not gone already as another late first rounder. It's something that we need.
Yeah, in that second round pick, if Hooker's gone and Drew Sanders or Jack Campbell are there, that's either one of them, I'd be super happy with.
Yes, China, I did get your pictures. I don't know if you saw it, but I put your other picture up. And when China sends me pictures, they're clothed. So all you guys that are thinking bad things, no. Okay? Clothed pictures.
Yes.
Shame on you.
Shame on you.
Beautiful lady. And again, China, Maritza, La Chara, and all the rest of the folks that came out there. We had a fantastic time. Jason Dean for being out there in Demon King, Regalia, and all the folks that we had a great time. And Jason, again, thank you. We'll get together in Kansas City and eat and get some good eats as well.
Yes, absolutely, Cap. I got some stuff coming with me too. I got some swag for you. So.
No, well, I never say no to swag.
Absolutely, my friend.
All
I
right.
appreciate you calling me on here and to do this. This was awesome. Again, T3, fantastic. So much great knowledge he has. Please go listen to his audio, his podcast, man. It's fantastic. Him and Kevlar Prom Dress, they awesome. They are awesome.
Okay. Take care, Jace. I got to kick myself off in a minute, too.
We'll
Be
see
well,
everybody. Raider Nation, love yous. Demon King out.
There you go. That's Jason Dean. He's out, and I am out in just a minute as well. Thank you for watching. This has been the Draft Podcast. And like Jason Dean said, I've been wanting to have this for a while. We didn't get a chance to do it last year, but we did do it this year. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you can, share this up. Make comments after the show. We appreciate you. I'll be out there. I'll be doing a show on tomorrow, Wild Wild West. It'll be another draft show, probably a mock. And we'll do one Wild Wild West tomorrow. We'll be doing a show on Sunday, but I'll probably not be doing one on Thursday. Probably not on Thursday. So this show right now will be done on Thursday. I have to repeat, as well as next Thursday when I'm on my way to Kansas City. I got to shut up, guys. Everybody, thanks again. Take care. We'll see you on the flip side. Raiders, baby. Yar!